All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to our Power 30. Today, you're going to learn about 3 different topics for 10 minutes each. Okay?
We did.
Oh, okay, got it. All right. So I'm up first. So my name is Carrie Gabriel. I'm a Presidential Diamond, and I currently live in Florida. Today, I am going to teach you how to teach. Basically, I'm just going to give you some tips. Some of you are like, oh, are you? I'm going to give you some tips on how you can effectively teach a group like this, or a class, or if you're ever on stage, just some tips that'll help you. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you is something that I actually just did. Introduce yourself, and then tell people what you're going to tell them. And then you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. That may sound confusing, but I actually learned that in the Army when I had to take a small groups training class. And since I started doing that, it makes everything so much easier. So tell them what you're going to tell them. Just like in the beginning, I said, I'm going to teach you about this. And then I'm about to tell you how to do it. And then at the end, I'm kind of going to sum it up to tell you what I told you. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to go through a list of tips. I only have 10 minutes, so we're not going to do scenarios or anything like that. I just literally made a list for you. Use a strong voice, calm. A lot of times when people are nervous, we don't hear it, but you feel it. So even if you're scared, just try to use your strong voice, because that's what we're going to hear. And we don't usually hear the nerves. We hear the calmness. So just try to think calm voice, talk in a calm voice. It'll be okay. Pick a narrow subject so you can be focused. Okay, like for example, our Power 30 today, it's 10 minutes. So you have like one little niche of information for each one. That's what makes it so effective, because everyone's very focused on that task. Keep it simple since you're going to have limited time. Okay, you cannot teach somebody the history of the world in 10 minutes, but you can teach them the history of an apple or something like that, you know? Practice if you can, and if you really want to get into it, ask somebody to watch you and give you some critiques. Okay, if you have time to do that. To me, it's easier to talk to a big group than it is to talk to like 1 or 2 people. So if it makes you more nervous, don't do it, but it's always good to get critiques. It really is, because it's only going to make you better. Learn how to introduce yourself. I don't always introduce myself on these Zooms, but today I did, just to prove a point, just to show you guys just a super simple introduction that you can do. If it's a longer speech or it's people who really don't know you, then maybe you can throw some other things in there that'll connect you with the crowd so that people can be like, oh, I have kids too. She's like me. Or, oh, she's from where I'm from. Or, oh, she likes to vacation where I vacation. You know, things like that. Whatever would build rapport with your audience. Tell stories or use metaphors. I have this thing about this. This is one of my favorite things to do. Just like I said, the history of the apple, that kind of put that story in your mind. You're like, oh, history of the world's big. History of an apple is little. I can do that. Whenever you tell stories or you do use metaphors like that, like the comparison, then it's easier for people to understand. I don't know if you guys have ever read a John Maxwell book or listened to one of his books. They're full of stories. They are full of stories, and that's why you remember the lessons, because you remember those stories. Don't apologize for yourself. If you're scared, if you feel like you're wrong, don't apologize for it. Just be confident and keep going. Okay? I hear all the time, I'm sorry guys, I'm so nervous. Not pointing fingers at anybody, but whenever someone says something like that, okay, you guys, Tasha, I do not mean you, because I know you're like a subject matter expert on a lot of stuff, but for other people, whenever you're first hearing them for the first time, if they're like, oh, I don't know, or oh, I'm so nervous, then do you feel like you can trust what they're telling you? Or do you feel like they're not sure about what they're talking about? Because that's how I feel when I hear that. It's okay to ask the audience questions in the rhetorical sense. Like, how many of you guys have ever felt like da 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 da? How has this ever happened to you? Or do you remember a time when you did da 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 da? You're asking these rhetorical questions, and it's making people think, like internalize what you're saying, and it's helping them connect themselves with you and with your story and what you're teaching. It's okay to use hand gestures. Did you know that? Because if you don't, and you notice I'm purposely, you didn't know it was, but I was purposely using hand gestures. And you don't want to be crazy like a flapping bird like this all the time. But if you close yourself up, what you're doing is you're boxing yourself off from the audience. And they can feel that. They don't know they're feeling it, but they'll feel that disconnect from you. Okay, it's okay to make your audience laugh. Did you know that? If you hear a lesson or a speech and it makes you laugh, you retain that information, you pay attention better, and you really get involved with it. And then honestly, you feel like you like the speaker more. They may not be the most awesome person in the world, but they made you laugh. So in that moment, you really do like them. So if you can, and it's natural enough for you, tell jokes. Make people laugh. I know whenever I'm on stage, I don't know what it is, but if I don't make people laugh at least like every other minute, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, because that's how I can tell that the audience is paying attention to me. Because if they're not laughing at my joke, then okay, first off, I know my joke is funny, right? So we don't even have to talk about that part. But so if I tell a funny joke and they're not laughing, they're not listening. That's how it works in my head anyways. Nope. Carissa, thanks. All right, so sometimes what you can do is you can create an inside joke with the crowd, and you'll see comedians do this all the time. You know, by the time they get through their skit, like, you have an inside joke with that person, and that makes it even funnier. That makes it more, you're connected to that speaker. So if you can create an inside joke like that, then do it. Whenever it's shorter, it's harder to do that. But if you've got like a good, like, big speech to give to somebody, you can do it. All right, this is the silliest tip ever, but it works. I promise it does. Smile. If you are smiling to the crowd, you're going to sound more excited. You're going to sound happier, and they are going to pay attention more. Okay. All right, so to sum it up for you, we have all these are some tips that for speaking and for teaching a class. You can use them. You don't have to use all of them at once, but if you incorporate these, then it's going to be a lot easier for you. You're going to feel a lot more confident, and it's going to be a more productive lesson. Plus, you guys, this book is I love this book. Speak Like Churchill. Okay, write that down. Speak Like Churchill. I don't have a clue who wrote it, but I have it, and that book is incredible. He really hits home with a lot of things. I don't know if you've ever heard Winston Churchill speak, but he is a very charismatic speaker. So this book gives you tips on how to speak like Churchill. Okay. All right. So I am all done with my lesson. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm looking for our next speaker, and I don't see her. So we are moving on to our third speaker.
She's here.
Where?
Right there. She unmuted.
Oh my gosh, you're right in the middle. Okay, Kaylee, it's all yours. Take over.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. Carrie, I think you were speaking directly to me with everything that you were just saying, because yeah, I'm super nervous right now. But thank you, Carrie, first of all, for giving me this, or allowing me this opportunity to share with everybody. So Carrie asked me to share a little bit of how I incorporate my faith into my business. And honestly, this was kind of a hard one for me, because for me, it's a lifestyle. And, you know, when you're so used to doing something, you don't even think about you having to do it. It just comes naturally. So for me, well, I'm sorry. I'm Kaylee, by the way, if you don't know me. I'm on Oahu. I joined back in, I think, like September of last year, 2019. I seen some local Maui girl making her keto salted caramel coffee, and I just messaged her about the coffee because I was doing keto at that time, and I asked about the business. And honestly, when I signed up, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just sign up for? What did I get myself into? I even told my husband that like many times, like, honey, what am I doing? But I'm so thankful that I was given this opportunity, and like it's really pushed me to grow myself as a person, because yeah, I'm not like out there like some of you guys. I'm like really shy. So yeah, I'm so grateful that for this It Works team and this company. So for me, I would say my faith is not just something like I believe in, or like a place I go. Like I said earlier, it's my lifestyle. It's who I am. And when something is part of your lifestyle, it's hard to separate from it, no matter what you do. So it's kind of like when you think of someone that has, I don't know what other example to give, but when someone has an addiction to something, you know, it's hard for them to stop. They don't know how to do life any other way. That's how my faith is with me, for me. Like I don't know how to do life without God. And I'm not saying it's a walk through tulips, tiptoeing through tulips. I still struggle with things, but I always turn back to God and be like, God, what are you trying to show me in this? Or what is the lesson that I have to learn? And so I'm sorry if you guys are asking me questions or what. I don't know, because I can't see my chat. So I'll give you guys a chance to ask after if you have any. The way I see it is God is my life support. Like I have to be connected to him to make it through my day. Not just a first aid kit where you take it out when you get a boo-boo, put a Band-Aid on, and then, okay, God, I'm done with you. Put him back in the cabinet till next time. Like he's always with me, to the point where no matter what I'm doing through my day, if I'm struggling with something, if I'm having a bad day, I can just talk to him wherever I am. I don't have to be alone in my room or in a church. I can be at work, in my car. Like you should see, sometimes I'm driving home and people probably think I'm crazy because like I'm having a conversation with God and like laughing. Yeah. But for me, yeah, he is my life support. For me, when you take your life and you place it in God's hands, not just parts of it, but your whole life surrendered to God, he is able to be God, and he is able to work in ways that our human hands cannot. And so when you're fully surrendered to God, he can bless all of it. Not just the parts that you're allowing him, but all of it. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking. So let's see. So yeah, every time I have struggles, I still struggle. Sometimes it's hard. sometimes I'm stubborn and I don't want to take it to God because I don't want to hear what he has to say, honestly, even though I know. But I know that every time I do that, whether I fail or succeed at something, as long as I try and as long as I take it to God, I know that he is allowing me to grow in whatever area it is, whatever the lesson is there is to be taught. So yeah, that's kind of all I had.
Okay. Oh, did she freeze? All right. Thank you so much, Kaylee. I know we're going to take questions at the end, and I know people will want to talk with you probably. Thank you so much for sharing that. You had a lot of people in tears. If you go back and read the chat later, it's all tears over here. So thank you. All right, next up, not anything remotely like this, but Tasha's up next, and she's going to talk to everybody about promoting to Ruby. So, Tasha.
Hold on, let me just hold on. I'll turn on my camera. I was crying when she was talking.
Oh,
holy crap. Okay. I am not crying. Oh, okay. So hi everybody. My name is Tasha, and gosh, that was, and this is recorded. This is just great. Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Tasha, and I am a triple diamond from Maui, and you guys all know me. But so today I'm gonna talk about a fly flew in my eye. Okay. I'm going to talk about promoting to Ruby. Guys, this is like the foundation. Like, this is like our roots of everything is Ruby. Like, this is, I say, the most important rank. Okay, because rubies make emeralds, rubies make diamonds, rubies make doubles. So, you know, you catch the drift, right? So ruby, you need rubies. Like, rubies are rock, you know. And so but it's super simple, you guys. Ruby is like the easiest, guys. And so I'm gonna just go real quick. If you guys have any questions, just put in the chat. I'll look at it later. Okay. So yes, rubies are live. Okay, so I'm like shaking. So dude, Kaylee, you just like hit my heart, man. Like, that was just insane, you know. Okay, so guys, for Ruby, all you need is 3 distributors. Like, 3 is your lucky number. 3 people are gonna take you guys all the way to the top. Like, just 3. So to promote to Ruby is you need 3 distributors. So 3 people like us, okay? And your goal is now you are training them and mentoring them what we taught you guys, okay? So what do? Your 3 distributors, you have them, right? You're going to teach them how to get their first 6 customers. Okay, after their first 6 customers, you're going to teach them how to get their 3 distributors. But basically, for Ruby, you guys are going to get 3 distributors, and each of them needs to be a qualified leg. You might want to write this down. Qualified leg is somebody who has 400 GV. So qualified leg equals 400 GV. So 400 group volume, okay? So now your 3 people, right, have 400, 400, 400, right? So 4, 8, 12. 800. You need to find 800 more GV from any of these 3 legs. They can come anywhere. So say Sally, I'm just going to use the people. Say Bran has 800 volume, Marianne has 800 volume, and Mildred has 400 volume, right? That's 2,000 GV. So for Ruby, you need 3 qualified legs, which means each of these people have to have 400 in GV, and your GV needs to be 2,000. So it doesn't matter where the extra, your main focus is to get those 3 qualified legs to have a minimum of 400 GV, and you need to figure out where the 800 is going to come from for you as a Ruby person to make 2,000 GV. That's it. Sorry, that sounded kind of confusing. I had all this in my mind, and then Kaylee comes in and like drops the bomb, and then now I just lost everything in my brain. Like it just wiped out. So real quick, again, you guys, to get to Ruby, you guys need 3 distributors. They each need to be a qualified leg, meaning having 400 GV minimum. And you need 2,000 GV. That's it. Do not try to reinvent the wheel, anything like that. You guys just need 3 distributors. Each of them need to have 400 minimum GV, and your GV just needs to add up to 2,000. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple scenarios, okay? Again, I'm going to use Brandy, Marianne, and Mildred because they're on my screen. So you have 3 distributors, Brandy, Marianne, Mildred. Brandy has 500, Marianne has 500, Mildred has 500, right? I'm at 1,500 GV. I need to figure out how to find 500 more GV for me to be at 2,000. That's all. So what brings in volume? New loyal customers, guys. People's auto shipments, distributors' auto shipments, your personal orders. Okay, your current loyal customers ordering more products on top of their auto shipment. Okay, so say 5, 5, 5, that's 15, and then say each of them bring in one customer at 100 more volume, so now they're at 666, that's 1,800, and say I signed 2 loyal customers with 100 BV each, I'm at 2,000 GV now. Okay, so but your main focus is just to get your qualified legs to be at a 400 GV minimum. Okay, real quick, another scenario. Say you have 2,500 GV. Okay, you have 2,500. These 2 girls are above 400, but this one, Mildred, she's only at 300. You haven't promoted to Ruby because Mildred is not a qualified leg yet. Once Mildred hits over, even though you have over 2,000 GV, Mildred needs to have 400 GV minimum. She needs to be a qualified leg in order for you to go Ruby. And I was going to share my screen too, and then I just, my mind just went crazy. So that's it, you guys. Ruby, that is your main goal if you are new. And then what you're going to do after that, you want to get your 3 team members for them to get to Ruby. That's it. Get them their 3 distributors, help them, get their 3 distributors, their customers, and so forth. So, sorry, Carrie, if that's not how you wanted it. But, guys, that's it. 3 distributors, 3 qualified legs, 400 GV each. You need 2,000 GV. You guys can find all this in your eSuites under your Organization Explorer. You can see everybody's GV if you want. Oh, thank you. That's it. I was under 10 minutes. Oh, yes. Okay. I done 333. Yep.
Yep. You came in at 8 minutes, I think, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching our Power 30. I'm going to end the recording now. Bye, guys.